most of those guys, like listen, I don't think there's any showstoppers there, just a few little sort of, I don't know, when you've got the knockout game coming the following week, sometimes that leads into that. So I don't think there's anyone too bad in there, but it's just sort of knocks and niggles more than anything, is hopefully what all those are. Andrew coming back in, listen, we plan to get him off pretty early, so I don't think there's anything too serious, like, from what I can see initially, so listen, we'll see how they are. A short week for us this week, so as in it was shortly in, so but yeah, not too bad, I think. Okay. Hopefully.
Ryan Baird did the warm up. Does that like indicate that he should be available next week?
Yeah, I think he'd be pretty close with Joe. Yeah, so see, he's come through the week okay, so he was in the coach's box with us there as well, so sharing some of his wisdom.
What were your overall thoughts, Leo?
Listen, first of all, listen, Scarlets came with real intent, didn't they? Because it's just a proper crack for them, isn't it? I know they're involved in the game next week, are they? So like, they're all in to this one, which again, it's always dangerous, isn't it? Where potentially our team may have an eye on what's ahead. So for us coming back in, listen, a lot of guys had last week off, and then they're coming back in this week, and so there's all those different variables. To come away with whatever bonus point win, that's the most important thing for us. So win the game, try and score 4 tries, which we managed to do pretty early in the second half, and then we start making some changes as well. So again, we've a challenge with cohesion, and we're as coaches making that even harder. So with some of the changes that we make, but listen, it is what it is, and it's get the job done, score 6 tries, created lots of other opportunities out there. But within that, there's still tons of things we can get better at. Some of the discipline in the first half an hour, which means we obviously give away penalties. What does that mean? Your territory possession. Scarlets have a big advantage, so they're playing a lot of that first half at our end of the field. So we need to be better. Probably that will be the first thing that springs to mind. So, but yeah, listen, it's a start for us. We're back together as a group now, which is positive, and it's just now getting excited for next week, which is Champions Cup. Listen, we're the last Irish team left in the knockout stages Champions Cup, and we just how hard this tournament is. It's a tournament that, listen, we have a very strong love for, and that love is as strong as ever. So making sure that we do everything we possibly can in this week to give a good or a better account of ourselves in a knockout game, because listen, we just need to make sure we get everything right that we can control.
Are you where you would like to be, given all the disruptions and stuff? It's never going to be perfect, obviously, but like, are you happy enough with where you are going back into the Champions League?
What does that mean? Like, if I at the start of the season, I'm fair top of the URC and all the rest. But listen, if you'd asked me after 4 rounds, after we lost 3 games, it was always going to be this type of season. John did a very good piece actually during the week around match minutes of international players, so I would highly recommend that everybody reads that because it sort of paints a bit of a picture. It paints a bit of a picture of our season. It wasn't a plant, by the way. I was like, slide in. Is it? Bring your own chair. So. Yeah, like it sort of paints a bit of a picture of the season, though, doesn't it? Like, we haven't had that much availability from approved players, so it's been a bit of a challenge around some of that, again, cohesion and consistency of performance, etc. So off the back of that, but listen, we're finding our way through it, and we've been battling at different stages. But listen, that's what knockout rugby is going to be about, isn't it? Battling. So and we need to make sure we battle out for everything. So I'm unbelievably excited for what we have coming up now, which is Edinburgh, Easter Sunday, and it's don't look too far ahead. Don't look too far ahead in any of this. We are where we are. Like, we've a lot of players come back. I haven't Hugo came back in last week, very experienced player, hadn't played since the Lions. You're like say Ports. There's Andrew Porter starting tonight hasn't played in a long time. You're mentioning Ryan Baird back training now. He's pretty close to being back available as well. So listen, there's lots of experience coming back into the mix now, and listen, we need to make sure it counts. So, but listen, we'll watch various games over the weekend. The main one will be Edinburgh, and they're getting on. So, and that's all the focus is week to week now. So, it's good. Like and hopefully we have sort of there's a blue sort of wave of support coming our way behind us as well, because listen, that's what it's all about, isn't it? The connection between team support. Yeah, I said I can't wait for them.
You know, you said, Leo, you obviously don't want to look too far ahead, but in the URC context, Glasgow obviously won tonight. They seem to be setting the pace, and the Stormers playing tomorrow in second place. So, I mean, you're obviously looking wary of trying to get that home quarter final as well at the URC.
Yeah.
And so, trying to maintain that pace, then I think your next game is away to Ulster, the URC.
Yeah.
So, it's obviously vital, but you're happy enough where you are now?
I would be happier
yeah.
if we were, say we're Glasgow, but
yeah.
we're not. So, and as I said, like I'd be happy as in when we were sitting in the dressing rooms or when I was talking to the media in Croke Park, I would have taken where we are now. And yeah, listen, I'm not that concerned about the URC as I sit here right now, because we'll move the page or turn the page quite quickly. But yeah, listen, all those teams have played each other as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
The Stormers are across. They play Cardiff. Cardiff are just behind us. They play up in Ulster. Glasgow play Ulster. Glasgow play Stormers. So listen, they're not all going to keep winning because they keep playing each other. So, but all we can control is our bit. We shall be our next game against Ulster. But listen, that's a while away yet. So,
Leo,
top of my priority list.
Leo, hi. Congratulations on the win tonight. How are you feeling about your defence specifically at the moment? On the one hand, your gain line is phenomenal. I think you have the best gain line denial in the URC. But at times, Scarlets found edges, you know, compared to the incredibly high standards of last season, you are conceding more tries than you were. I think turnovers are down. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like we're not exactly where we would like to be, but I think that's both sides of the ball. So again, like when we get cohesion with a group, and that's a big part of that. So, and that's been the story of our season. Have you seen John O'Sullivan's piece in the Irish Times?
I heard about it. I heard about it from somewhere.
The amount of players that we've had to use during the course of the season so far, because listen, it was great to see 12 plus 2, 14 Leinster players on a Lions trip, which is pretty much unheard of, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, there's been different challenges. So we're building, we're getting back there together.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, the national team have a slightly different defensive system. We'll come back in, we'll build on that session by session by session.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like every facet of the game. We need to be better across the board, and make sure we deliver proper attention to detail on all the facets of the game, because that's what we're going to need when it comes to knockout rugby. So, yeah, as I said, we'll watch Edinburgh. We played Edinburgh here a number of weeks ago. The teams are going to be very, very different to what they were in that was it round 10 game or whatever, 10 or 11. So anyway, we're a work in progress.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I may, Tommy, congratulations on your Player of the Match award. As a Scarlets fan, could you not have let us had that one at the end? But watching you play, I looking at the stats, you're one of the teams in the league who goes beyond 20 metres width, the most of anybody. And watching you play, you know, the ball goes through a lot of sets of hands. Yourself as a winger, is that desire to go wide maybe more in this Leinster team than in previous years?
Yeah, I think we're always talking about trying to attack the best space available, so whether that is wide, whether it's narrow, it's something we're working on to make sure that we can identify where that best space is and have the ability to attack that.
What did you enjoy more, Tommy, scoring a try or saving a try?
I haven't had one of those try-saving tackles in a while, so I'll go with that one.
Leo, just a word on Jamie Osborne. Obviously, he started 5 games at fullback for Ireland and did really well, and like seemed to seamlessly switch into 12. Like, what did you make of his performance, and what does it say about him as a footballer that he could do that after playing at fullback?
Yeah, like he's a quality footballer, yeah. So whether he's 12, 13, 15, yeah. And I don't think Jamie's too sure himself. Listen, he loves just being out there, running around, expressing himself, and yeah, listen, he was class, yeah, today. I thought really, really good.
Tommy, just want to ask you about Josh. He's like incredible, kept up his incredible record. Like, what have you kind of found, kind of training and playing with him this season, like in his development so far?
Yeah, he's like night and day from when he came in summer, isn't he? But that's an absolute credit to him, just his desire to learn. He's obviously very physically gifted, like athlete, but like his core skills have improved so much. How much he's kind of dedicated to learning the way we play and buying into the system, and he's obviously getting on board. Like, he's had some amazing days. I'd say he wouldn't have believed you if you told him he's had the season he's had, some massive European moments scoring against La Rochelle, and as I say, he just keeps scoring, which is fantastic for us. So competition is amazing, and it keeps driving all of us to get better.
Leo, just wanted to ask one for you. Like it's not going to work as much for you if you have like Paddy out and Jack kind of injuries as well. But there's been a bit of talk of maybe Andrew might be able to switch to tight head again, like he's done it before. He's a lion on both sides of the scrum as well. But is that something you might consider at any stage of the season, or give him a run out there at all, or even off the bench, anything like that?
Well, listen, if you remember that Connacht game earlier in the year, he was at the start as a loose head, and he got dropped onto the bench as a reserve tight end. So yeah, his importance is unbelievable in terms of his ability, but it's his actual mindset. He can give you sort of that quizzical look, but then once he gets set around, he was not bothered to him now. So, and that was with very, very short prep. So yeah, this needs to be well capable of the job if required.
Well, like I suppose heading into like next week's game, like there's lads coming back in form, lads getting fit again, other lads kind of probably knocking on your door as well. Like, are you in good shape, do you reckon, kind of heading into this game next weekend?
Yeah, listen, could we be better? Are we in good shape? That's the another question, isn't it? All I can say is, listen, we're excited. We just need to attack next week, like, because it's a knockout game, and this is what it's all about. Like, is in the season the way it's gone. You know what I mean? Like, you finish Six Nations, and it's turn your attention to like pretty quickly to knockout quickly. So obviously the old format was a quarter-final, semi-final, final. Now we've this last 16 round as well. So, but it's on the day. So we just need to make sure we get everything right on the day, and then move on to the next challenge very, very quickly. So, and hopefully that will be a quarter-final the week after. So, but we need to just make sure we're delivering how we possibly can with the group that we have. And listen, we've got some very, very good experienced players back into the mix over the last couple of weeks, which is pleasing. So some guys came back in last week, as we know. They had a bit of time off this week, so then we'll have the full group back together next week and listen, make sure we're excited about the week.
Okay, sorry, just speaking about like knockout rugby for a minute. I mean, there's kind of a sense now. Obviously, you've got Champions Cup coming up next week, and then you've got a pretty important string of URC games. Is there a sense now that kind of every game from here is knockout rugby? Every game from here is the most important end of the season, I suppose.
Yeah, not far off. Like, it's next week's the only one that matters. Like, that's the thing when you're talking about knockout rugby. There's no point looking too far ahead, is there? So let's just look at Edinburgh, Easter Sunday. Still tickets available.
Will James Ryan be fit next week?
It'll be close, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be close, yeah. Close. So we'll see how close. Yeah, but he's back running at least.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.